This is a historic moment, the first time anyone has tried to drill down through this glacier. Beneath the 600 meters of ice below me is the most important point of all, the point at which the ice meets the ocean water.
Antarctica is a massive place that could cover the entire United States, yet so harsh and cold that almost no one can live there. Even though it's huge, most maps just show it as a strange blob at the world's edge, hiding its true size. This frozen giant is one of Earth's last great mysteries, barely touched and little understood. What secrets are locked under all that ice? Let's dig into the chilling mysteries of Antarctica and see what's really hidden beneath. Antarctica Unveiled, the hidden continent. To better understand its size, think about this. If you placed Antarctica over North America, it would cover the entire mainland United States. The distance from one end of Antarctica to the other is as long as the distance from the Canadian Arctic Islands to Mexico. If you placed it over Europe, it would stretch from Norway and Finland in the north, all the way to Iran and Iraq in the southeast, reaching past Ireland into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's a truly huge place. Even though it's so big, almost no one lives in Antarctica permanently because of its extreme weather. The number of people there changes with the seasons, with up to 4,000 people in the milder summer and only about 1,000 during the dark, freezing winter. In winter, the whole continent is dark for months, and temperatures can drop below -34°C everywhere. The harsh climate isn't the only reason people don't live there. Its remoteness makes it even harder to get to. At the very bottom of the world, it's far from any major cities. The closest large town is Ushuaia in southern Argentina, which is still about 1,000 kilometers from the edge of Antarctica. And even getting from Ushuaia to Antarctica is tough, because you have to cross the Drake Passage, one of the roughest and most dangerous parts of the ocean. This difficult journey keeps Antarctica isolated and makes it a huge, cold wilderness that still challenges explorers. The part of the world where the Southern and Pacific Oceans meet and flow into the Atlantic, there's a unique global pathway. This special place in the Southern Hemisphere lets winds and ocean currents travel around the globe without any land stopping them. Because of this, these forces keep gathering speed and strength as they move, creating a powerful and constant natural phenomenon. The mix of warmer waters from the north and colder currents from the south makes this effect even stronger, leading to the big waves of the Drake Passage. Here, ocean waves can reach up to 65 feet during extreme weather. The dangerous journey through the Drake Passage and the long distances from other lands like Antarctica to Africa and Australia explain why this icy land was unseen by humans for a long time. This ice sheet is, on average, more than 2 kilometers thick. At its thickest point, it can be nearly 5 kilometers thick. Imagine stacking 6 of the tallest buildings in the world, the Burj Khalifa, on top of each other. This huge amount of ice holds 61% of the Earth's fresh water. If it all melted, global sea levels would rise by about 60 meters, causing catastrophic flooding of coastal areas, including completely covering Florida and large parts of the U.S. Gulf and East Coasts. To explore the vast world hidden beneath the thick layers of Antarctic ice, we use a special method: airplanes that send radio waves through the ice and listen for their echoes. This technique, called radio echo sounding, is our main way to peek into the mysterious world under the ice. As the planes fly overhead, they shoot radio waves downwards, which bounce back after hitting different surfaces below, giving scientists clues about what's hidden beneath. Antarctica is bigger than Europe, making it incredibly difficult to cover the whole area with these flights. It's not only a huge task, but also very expensive and time-consuming. Because of this, our knowledge of what lies beneath the ice is based on just a few of these flights. So far, more than 90% of the terrain under the ice remains unexplored and unknown to us. Let's dive deeper into what Antarctica really looks like under all that ice. Antarctica's fragmented secrets. Even with this limited exploration, we've already learned some amazing things. One of the biggest surprises is that Antarctica, which looks like one solid mass of ice from above, is not actually a single unified landmass. If the ice melted away, it would reveal a fragmented landscape, very different from the solid ice cover we see now. This discovery raises many questions and possibilities about the hidden geography of the continent and the secrets it holds. It shows just how important it is to keep exploring, as each flight and each radio echo can reveal new information about our planet's least understood continent. Our journey into the icy depths of Antarctica is not just about mapping unknown areas. It's about uncovering a hidden chapter of Earth's history. If the ice sheets in Antarctica were to melt, the real landscape of the continent would surprise everyone. What we now call the Antarctic Peninsula would turn into a group of tall, rugged islands, often called Lesser Antarctica. This part would look very different from the larger part of the continent, known as Greater Antarctica, which would stay above sea level and be about the same size as Australia. Antarctica is split into these two different parts because of their unique geological makeup and history. Greater Antarctica, or the eastern part, is mostly made of ancient igneous and metamorphic rocks. On the other hand, Lesser Antarctica is younger and has layers of sedimentary and volcanic rocks. The younger part of the continent is part of the huge Pacific Ring of Fire, a large area around the Pacific Ocean, with many fault lines and active volcanoes. This geological activity has been shaping the land for about 35 million years. As a result, the islands in Lesser Antarctica are mostly volcanic, even though they might look icy with snow covering them. Mount Erebus, located far to the east in Antarctica, is a prime example of this volcanic activity. It is the tallest active volcano on the continent and the most southerly active volcano on Earth. This volcano is special because it has had a constant lava lake in its summit crater since the 1970s, with its most recent eruption happening in 2020. The area around Mount Erebus is extremely cold, with year-round temperatures averaging around -7 degrees Celsius. During winter from April to September, temperatures drop even further, never going above -20 degrees Celsius, and can go as low as -62 degrees Celsius in August. In such conditions, frostbite can happen in minutes, and water can freeze instantly if exposed. This suggests that these Antarctic subvolcanic cave systems might be good places for life forms we haven't discovered yet. In 2017, researchers from the Australian National University explored these caves and collected soil samples, potentially leading to new biological discoveries in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Such findings challenge our understanding of life's resilience and adaptability, hinting at the possibility of discovering entirely new ecosystems in the most unexpected places. Underneath the ice, scientists found DNA from algae, moss, and tiny animals. This means there is life thriving in these cold, dark caves. Even more exciting, they found DNA from unknown species, possibly unique to these caves. These could be creatures like shrimp or spiders, adapted to live in the warm, volcanic conditions. But here's something even more fascinating. Mount Erebus isn't the only volcano hiding such secrets. There are at least 15 other volcanoes in Antarctica that might have similar life-filled caves. Each one could be a unique home to different forms of life. These discoveries show us how much we still have to learn about the creatures living in these hidden, extreme environments. Now, let's see what these surprising discoveries tell us about Earth's past. The mystery of Antarctica's hidden impact crater. Adding to the mystery, scientists detected a strange gravity anomaly in East Antarctica in the late 1950s. This means there's an area where gravity is weaker than expected. For decades, this puzzled scientists. Then, in 2006, researchers from Ohio State University suggested that this might be the site of a huge meteorite impact. This impact could be larger than any other known on Earth. The crater, buried under the ice, could be up to 480 kilometers across, suggesting a massive asteroid hit, possibly even bigger than the one that helped wipe out the dinosaurs. This discovery is exciting because it lines up with the largest mass extinction event in Earth's history, the Permian Triassic extinction, also called the Great Dying. This event happened about 252 million years ago and wiped out 57% of all biological families, 81% of marine species, and 70% of land vertebrates. While the cause of this mass extinction is still unclear, the hidden impact crater under Antarctica might hold some clues. But that's not the only interesting thing about Antarctica. Beneath its thick ice sheet are around 675 subglacial lakes, only discovered since the 1990s. These lakes, some over 3 kilometers deep, include Lake Vostok, the largest lake by volume under the ice. Found by Russian researchers in the 1990s, Lake Vostok wasn't known to the public until 1996. It's buried 4 kilometers beneath the ice and has more water than Lake Michigan. The water in Lake Vostok stays liquid at about -3 degrees Celsius because of geothermal heat from below and the insulating ice above. Even though it's freezing, organisms like Antarctic krill and certain icefish live there. What other life forms might exist in these icy depths is still a mystery. The first drilling into Lake Vostok in 2012 by a Russian team led to contaminated samples, but cleaner samples from a 2015 drilling are still being analyzed. This exploration could reveal simple life forms like bacteria, hinting at possible life on other icy worlds in our solar system. Researchers found an RNA sequence in Lake Vostok's ice related to Antarctic rock cod, suggesting more complex life forms. Then, in 2021, scientists found shrimp-like creatures in a cavern beneath a West Antarctic glacier, showing that complex ecosystems can exist in these extreme environments. Antarctica's hidden world beneath the ice is not just about biological discoveries. It might also be a reservoir of untapped natural resources like oil, gas, and coal, formed from millions of years of biological material. Recently, a Russian expedition found an oil field in the Weddell Sea with over 500 billion barrels of oil, highlighting the potential resources in this icy wilderness. This discovery has significant geopolitical implications, especially in contested areas of Antarctica claimed by the UK, Argentina, and Chile. While the Antarctic Treaty currently bans drilling, the potential wealth under the ice could challenge this agreement in the future. Exploring these remote and harsh environments challenges our understanding of life on Earth and opens up possibilities for discovering life on icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn. The secrets hidden beneath Antarctica's ice could reveal clues to past extinctions, future resources, and the limits of life itself. Next, we explore the human stories and rivalries in the icy expanse of Antarctica. Antarctica's fragmented sovereignty in the early 1900s. In the early 1900s, countries like New Zealand, Australia, France, and Norway made claims to parts of Antarctica. They used their existing territories close to Antarctica as a basis for these claims. For example, New Zealand and Australia based their claims on their homelands, France on the Crozet and Kerguelen Islands, and Norway on Bouvet Island. The United Kingdom extended its reach from the Falkland Islands, South Georgia, and the South Sandwich Islands. This led to overlapping claims, especially among the UK, Argentina, and Chile, as they all wanted similar areas. Argentina's claims were similar to the UK's, but also included areas close to its own mainland. Chile, too, based its claims on its mainland's proximity to Antarctica. This overlap caused tensions between these countries, especially by the mid-1900s, and there were fears it might lead to conflict. During the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, a significant event happened in 1959. 12 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty. This treaty was a major agreement to keep Antarctica peaceful and focused on science. It banned military activities, including nuclear tests and waste disposal. It also set up a system for surprise inspections to make sure everyone followed the rules. The treaty defined Antarctica as all land and ice south of the 60-degree latitude line. Countries with claims before the treaty could not enforce them legally, but could keep scientific research bases there. The United States and Russia kept the option to make future claims. The treaty allowed any country to set up research stations, regardless of past claims. One of the treaty's key points was banning commercial resource extraction, so no mining or drilling could happen. This led to over 55 research stations being set up across Antarctica by various countries, all operating peacefully under the treaty's rules. The largest of these is the U.S. McMurdo Station, which can house up to 1,500 people during the summer, making it a busy center for international science. But the story doesn't end there. Argentina and Chile, because they are close to Antarctica, have made significant efforts to strengthen their claims by building permanent civilian settlements. The Argentinian Esperanza Base on the Antarctic Peninsula is one example. These actions highlight the ongoing global interest and strategic importance of this frozen continent. In the remote area of King George Island, near the tip of the Antarctic Peninsula, small Chilean communities live. These settlements, called Villa Las Estrellas, have populations that change with the seasons. In the cold winters, there are only a few dozen people, but in the milder summers, there can be over 100. This is similar to the first permanent English colony in America, established at Roanoke in the 16th century. During the 1970s and 80s, the governments of Argentina and Chile had a unique plan. They sent pregnant women to their Antarctic settlements to give birth. The idea was that these babies, being born on Antarctic soil, would support their country's claims over this icy land. This plan became very important in the political drama of the region, especially with the birth of Emilio Marcos de Palma on January 7, 1978, the first human born on the Antarctic continent. Since then, at least 10 more Argentine and Chilean children have been born there. Meanwhile, Argentina and the United Kingdom are involved in a heated argument over the sovereignty of the nearby Falkland Islands, South Georgia, and the South Sandwich Islands. This dispute is much more intense and has more historical confrontations than the arguments over Antarctica. Let's look at how people manage to live and compete in this extreme landscape. The icy battle over Antarctica's hidden wealth. Both regions have seen efforts to strengthen national claims, but it's the icy disputes in Antarctica that bring a unique mix of human effort and strategic politics to one of the toughest landscapes on the planet. But that's not the most surprising part. The real challenge is how people manage to live and thrive in such a harsh environment. The Falkland Islands are full of life, unlike the quiet settlements in Antarctica. About 3,600 British citizens live there. For nearly 200 years, since the 1830s, the UK has controlled these islands, even though Argentina has always claimed them because of their history and location. The tension peaked in 1982 when Argentina suddenly invaded the Falklands and nearby islands. This led to a 10-week conflict, causing the death of almost 1,000 soldiers and injuring over 2,000, with both sides losing ships. Even with Argentina's strong attack, the British forces won and kept control of the islands. While the tension hasn't completely gone away, it's become less noticeable, especially with bigger global issues like conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. But the recent discovery of a huge oil reserve in Antarctica, estimated to be worth $44 trillion, might bring the Falkland dispute back into the spotlight. This oil reserve is in an area claimed by both Britain and Argentina, so the issue might heat up again for both countries. Nations are now exploring the possibility of drilling and mining in Antarctica, especially in the Weddell Sea, driven by the potential of finding trillions of dollars in resources. Once covered by thick ice, this area is becoming more accessible due to climate change. The ice is melting, allowing ships and oil rigs to enter. The Antarctic Peninsula to the west offers some protection from the strong ocean waves, but the conditions are still very tough. The Weddell Sea is far from any major cities, like those in Argentina or South Africa, making it a challenging place to work. Icebergs and moving ice make it dangerous for oil platforms. The cost to start and maintain operations in such a harsh environment is very high, even for wealthy nations. Currently, the financial burden makes these ventures unfeasible. Even countries like Russia, which might ignore international rules, find the costs too high. The severe weather and huge initial investments are big deterrents. But this isn't the worst part. As the ice keeps melting and with the Antarctic Treaty up for review in 2048, some countries might change their minds. If global policies and economic situations improve, countries like Argentina, trying to stabilize their economies, might start looking at these resources differently. This could change the geopolitical scene, making Antarctica a new hotspot for resource extraction. What do you think about the potential exploitation of Antarctica's resources? Could this lead to new geopolitical conflicts, or is it a necessary step for economic development? Like, comment, and subscribe for more.